Welcome back to the Ruby Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining me. Me and my edgy haircut today are going to be doing a tier list ranking of all the Netflix original anime series that have come out in 2023. I'm pretty sure I've covered them all. If you notice a couple that are missing that you think are Netflix originals, it's because they're not originals. And even some of those that I have in this list are ones that they've bought the license to and then slapped their original title on, so even those are subject to your thinking. But for now, these are all the animes that have come to Netflix in 2023 that I've reviewed. You can find every single one of my reviews on my channel in a playlist for 2023 Netflix animes. There's also going to be some honorable mentions, a couple that are not in the Netflix anime series that I just kind of want to mention that deserve to be in this, and a couple that aren't anime but also deserve to be in this. So just before people go mad in the comments, what is anime? Anime is animation in that particular country. Even in Korea, they have a different name for it. I'm hoping that you enjoy this edit. Let me know in the comments below. This will be interesting for me, so it's selfish. Let me know in the comments below, which of my reviews do you remember, if you've seen any of them from this year, that you thought were really good? It'll help me understand where I went right and where I went wrong. But for now, let's jump in. Onimushu.
I don't do that tongue thing.
With the heart of a warrior, a legendary swordsman wields an ancient demonic weapon, but with every soul he takes, the more darkness consumes him. From a series of games that should have been left to your nostalgic memories, to an anime about a character that fans of the game said you should have had in. The anime itself was pretty damn fun and had a very Ninja Scroll feel to them, with an epic episode 7 and 8 that reminded me a lot of Gandalf fighting the Balrog. And that's why I'm putting this in A for aliens. Pluto. When the world's 7 most advanced robots and their human allies are murdered by one, Inspector Gist soon discovers he's also in danger. It's a bleak look at our future perhaps, but this is undoubtedly an adult look. Astro Boy, not in a sexy way, but in damn, this will scar me for the rest of my life. Every episode gets better and darker and sadder and is ultimately a work of art. What tier? Let's see. S for Space Jam.
Pardon me, Mr. Jordan. Could I have your John Hancock?
Good Night World. 4 miserable members of a dysfunctional household have no idea that they formed a happy family unit in an immersive VR game with each other. There's nothing like abusive relationships in anime to start the day off with. Good Night World is like SOA.
Your name's Kirito.
But you've forgotten to take your antidepressants for 1 season. It feels unfinished and is predictable, but ultimately it mostly does an excellent job with the adaptation. Gamera Rebirth. In the summer of 1989, 4 kids in Tokyo witness the emergence of a turtle kaiju Gamera who bravely stands up against giant human-eating monsters. And so we come down to that part of the internet where fans of Godzilla and Gamera shout at their keyboards. My overgrown genuine kaiju will kick your butt. My dad is more vital than your dad.
Well, I bet my dad can beat up your dad.
Yeah, well, I bet that my dad can beat up your dad.
When all I want to say is this 3D CG rocks and is crazily exciting to watch. Much of the series is actually about kaiju and not too much about the humans. Take note. Live action Monsterverse. B for Benny and June.
Raisins on TV.
Bakihama Season 2 Son of Ogre Part 1 and 2. To gain the skills he needs to surpass his powerful father, Baki enters Arizona State Prison to take on the notorious inmate known as Mr. Unchained. This is where anime goes to die, with the dumping of exposition and the use of storyboards as your animation. E for the Elephant Man.
I am not an animal.
And that's all I have to say about that. The 7 Deadly Sins Grudge of Edinburgh Part 2. Reunited with Lancelot the first time since their tragic accident, Tristan must learn to conquer his inner demons to save his mother's life. Season 1 of The Deadly Sins was excellent, amazing anime. The rest, not so much. It's a somewhat interesting story, but I'm mostly happy to see the characters again in this movie, but part 2 just reminded me of why this animation was going downhill in the zeitgeist of everybody's thoughts and feelings. This 3D CG anime movie was not what we wanted, and all I want to say is not like this.
Not like this. Not like this.
D for Deadpool.
Motherfucker, you are hard to look at.
Like a testicle with teeth.
Bastard, Heavy Metal Dark Fantasy Season 2. When evil forces threaten to resurrect Anthrax, the god of destruction, the kingdom of Metalinica calls for a volatile dark wizard for help. Bastard Heavy Metal Dark Fantasy is such an interesting show. It's like the entire show was written by a very horny teen who sees boobs for the first time. It's also immensely entertaining nonsense with not the most incredible animation, but embraces what works for it. B for Black Panther. Uku, the Inner Chambers. In an alternate history where the male population is nearly decimated, eligible men serve as concubines to the woman shogun inside the walls of Uku. It's the best, most depressing anime series, like it's in a boxing ring with graveyards of the fireflies. It's losing, but it is at least in the ring. A for Airplane.
Calm down, now get back to your seat. I'll take care of this. Calm down, get off yourself.
Doctor, you wanted a phone. Everything's been told.
Sister, please, I'll handle this.
Black Clover, Sword of the Wizard King. Netflix bought a license, learned to drive, and then slapped a "We Own You" sticker on Black Clover's movie, just like slaves back in the day.
That's scripture.
However, this movie is really exciting and is a worthy addition to the Black Clover anime universe. It's more of the same but in feature-length style. And B for Backdraft. Yakitori Soldiers of Misfortune. A young man rebels against authorities on a future version of Earth after he has been recruited into an interplanetary military unit that suffers a 70% casualty rate. Furries will love this series.
There are suitors out there that don't call themselves furries.
It's odd fun and has a message that's not subtle, but as a one-time watch, it's worth it. C for Creep. Ultraman the final season. Shinjiro Hayata learns that his father passed him on the Ultraman factor and fights against evil. Fighting sequences that are really in a 3D CG love fest. It's not for all the fans and had a wokeness trend happening there at the end, according to the fans. The third season had a wicked climactic battle, but I've already forgotten the story, so C for Crank.
Clear?
Agretsuko, the final season. After the events of season 4, Haida is unemployed, broke and homeless, having spent all his money on online gaming, causing his family to kick him out of his apartment. He takes refuge at an internet cafe. He soon moves in with Retsuko, and they both have to face each other's families. This anime is like comfort food. I love all these characters combined with the cuteness of the anime style that is liable to have a cuteness overload, and yet it is very real at the same time. Wish there was more. B for Beetlejuice.
Showtime.
Make my day. On an icy mining planet known as Prison World, mysterious disappearances point to deadly secrets hidden within the mines. An exciting premise will somewhat satisfy your Starship Troopers needs.
Would you like to know more?
It feels like it was world building and needs many more seasons. Whether we get any more is anyone's guess. B for Bright.
Do not wink at me like that.
Record of Ragnarok Season 2. The story follows the decision of mankind and gods as gods counsel to end humanity. But Valkyrie Brulhide convinces the gods to give humanity one last chance and prove their worth in the tournament of Ragnarok. A sorry excuse for animation, but it has an exciting story, fighting arc and characters you want to see fight. Still, unfortunately, you mostly see moving storyboards. D for Dexter's Laboratory. Junji Ito, Tales of the Macabre. From the mind of horror manga maestro Junji Ito comes a spine-tingling selection of some of the most bizarre, disturbing and terrifying tales. I'm pretty new to the beautiful world of Junji Ito, so was very excited to see this anime. However, some of the stories worked for me, some didn't, and I have no desire to rewatch them. So that's how Sue sees it.
And that's how Sue sees it.
My Happy Marriage. An unhappy young woman from an abusive family is married off to a fearsome and chilly army commander, but the two learn more about each other and love may have a chance. This anime has a special place in my heart that is 3 sizes too small.
Small heart grew 3 sizes that day.
My wife watched this with me, and she never watches anime with me. She loved the romantic supernatural angle in the Cinderella story in the first few episodes, but was amazed by what it became. B for Bedazzled.
Hello.
My Damon. To save his mother, a kind-hearted boy and his tiny Damon friend set out on a journey across post-apocalyptic Japan as dark forces close in. CG 3D characters are uniquely designed, but ultimately it's the harrowing journey of the boy and his monster that you will fall in love with and root for. A for Aladdin. Scott Pilgrim meets the world. Scott Pilgrim meets the girls of his dreams, Ramona Flowers, only to find out her 7 evil exes stand in the way of their love. Ultimately, I think the movie is still much better, and I don't think we needed this. It doesn't know what it wants to be, a graphic novel or a movie or its own thing, and by paying homage to all of them, it loses its identity. I still enjoyed it and loved the cast coming back to voice the animation characters. A strong C for Cars.
I'm a precision instrument with speed and aerodynamics.
You hurt your what?
Akuma-kun. Boy tries to create a society where humanity realizes its potential and lives happily with the help of some unlikely allies. It didn't grab me emotionally like I wanted to. It took a few episodes for me to get invested, but I love the character designs and art style with the score, and the anime built into something great in the end, so B for Babe.
Thanks very much. It was very kind of you.
So those are all the original anime from Netflix, but here are my honorable mentions. Blue Eye Samurai. Blue Eye Samurai is incredible, probably one of the best animated series I've ever seen. S for Sin City. Scissor 7 Season 4. It's world building, but it seemed a little bit rushed, so C for Creeper. Invincible Season 2. Split seasons of TV are not fun. B for Beethoven.
No, no, no!
Pantheon, one of the most exciting, thought-provoking, Matrix-like animes I've seen in ages. A for Anger Management.
I don't mean you people, I mean you people.
Scavenger's Reign is a spectacular story that stays with you hauntingly with an incredible score and majestic psychological visuals. S for Short Circuit.
Number 5 is Alive.
So I hope you found this enjoyable and you have a list of rankings of your own from Netflix, and maybe there's some that I missed out that you think are still in originals that needed to be in there. Let me know in the comments. There are also anime obviously outside of Netflix, loads on Crunchyroll and Funimation. I haven't had time to review all of them, so I can't really do a list because there are an incredible amount of anime that comes out every year. That's why I kind of try and niche it down. I do hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoy a good Christmas, however you celebrate, and the New Year's this holiday time. I will be doing more reviews this year, but just in case you are going away and you're not going to get to see more of my content this year, thank you so much for supporting me. I do appreciate it. I love the Movies and Munchies collaboration I do with the Bearded Ones Patreon, that we have loads of content on there at the moment and a good community. We also have our podcast that we do pretty much every week. On the 6th of January, we're going to be doing a live podcast with the best thing we watched. Chris, myself, and Movies and Munchies, we're going to be collaborating to do a live version of that podcast that we normally do. So I hope you check that out. Put that in your diaries. We're going to release like all the information, except we know the date. We just don't know the time yet. We're trying to find a time that works as much as we can, as best for everyone. So I hope you enjoy these. Thanks so much for watching. Happy Christmas, Happy New Year. Most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.